All right, so this video is a must-watch before you move to the suburbs of Philadelphia. So before you're going to move to the suburbs of Philadelphia, the number one thing you need to know is it's big and it's varied. There is everything from cities like Center City or like Philadelphia to all the way to the opposite end of the spectrum to rural country farmlands, and not that far apart from each other. You could be less than 20 miles between the two extremities. Now, looking outside of the suburbs, you also have beach towns in New Jersey as well, of course, along the Jersey Shore. Now, if you have the patience and the time, you can literally find a spot that will suit everybody in your family or will make you very happy for a very long time. Chester County, as an example, which is just outside of the city, you've got everything from farmlands to horselands, also very residential type neighborhoods, your traditional white picket fence and your two-story colonials, but you've got everything in between as well. You've got some city life happening there too. You've got some great walkable towns. There's also a vast area called Lancaster County, which is just further out, which is a lot of Amish happening there as well. Again, you're still less than an hour outside of the city. So another thing to note is everything is pretty accessible by car. Now, generally speaking, outside in the suburbs, there's not a ton of walkable. You can't walk from one to the other, although there are a lot of great walkable boroughs and towns and townships and neighborhoods happening. But within about an hour's drive, you could be anywhere from Center City, you could be in the Poconos, you could be near the Jersey Shore, you could be for tax-free shopping, and really within an hour's drive of any suburb of the Philadelphia area, you can have everything you want from, if you're in the mood for getting some freshly grown, we'll call it, freshly grown milk from a cow or freshly grown produce, to I want to be in dead Center City, having a luxury lunch in Rittenhouse Square. So not only can you commute pretty easily by car, but there's a ton of public transportation happening. I mean, there is public transportation to get you from Center City all the way out to the Poconos. Now, you may have to get on and off a couple of buses and a couple of transfers, but it's very easy to do, and public transportation is rampant throughout the suburbs. There's a lot of busing systems. There's not a ton of subways, but there are some out-of-the-ground trains. What do they call those? I guess they call them trains. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to get around if you do not have a car, or maybe you're not feeling like you're interested. You can get to shopping, you can get in and out. You can probably even get to a train station within a walkable distance. Okay, so you need to know, you are in Pennsylvania, we all have the 4 seasons. We have 4 seasons, and some of us are better equipped to handle it than others, so just be wary in some of those more rural areas. The roads do get plowed, they just take a little bit longer. Some of the areas have private roads, so you may be up to you and your neighbors to shovel or plow yourselves out yourselves. They may not shoot you for a parking spot during heavy snows like they do in Philadelphia. Sometimes, look, there was a couple of times, and hey, the snow really gets to us, right? So like the city of brotherly love, the suburbs are filled with a lot of love too, but there's a lot of extremes. We talked about extreme cities and extreme rural. We're talking about the weather. There are some really, really hot, muggy, humid days, and there are some really, really bitterly cold days, freezing days where it gets you to the bone. And yes, we do have snow. We have a lot of it. Wouldn't say a ton of it, but we do have a lot of snow, often during our winter months. All right, we talked about weather, which we can't do anything about. We also got to talk about taxes. You can't do anything about. It's about 4%. So if you live in the city, you're going to pay about 3.9 or 4% of your wage tax for the right to live and work in the city. If you don't live in the city, but you work in the city, you're still going to pay about 3%, maybe a little more. Now, that doesn't mean if you don't work or live near Center City or in Philadelphia City, you don't have to pay taxes. No. That's not the case. It rounds out around 2 or 3%. So look, either way, they get you coming and going. It's definitely more expensive to live and work in the city than it is to live and work outside of the city, but it's all relative. What are you saving by having walkable, and what are you not spending by living in a closer environment? So it sort of all makes up for itself, but definitely the taxes are a consideration. I can say the state income tax is lower than New Jersey. Sorry, Jersey, it's true. Also, Although we're talking about suburbs, there are a lot of great suburbs in New Jersey, but that's another video. But the real estate taxes are much higher there, and you want to be in PA. That's where we want to be. So another fun fact about Pennsylvania, the liquor laws are super strict. So we only have state-run stores that you can buy your liquor. So the liquor is protected just as much as the fireworks, let's say. Now you can get some great fireworks in New Jersey, but you need to be a New Jersey resident. So that gets a little bit complicated. But hey, we got a guy. We'll get you the hookup. So beer distributors are very common, and it's pretty easy to get beer and wine in grocery stores and supermarkets and so forth. But the liquor itself is only in state-run stores. Some gas stations and so forth will have 6 packs of beer to go, and some of the restaurants will have it as well. We do have a lot of BYOB, so hit up a state store, come on over and BYOB. So I do want to mention there is a ton of job opportunities in and outside of the city. If you're going to be within a commutable distance of Center City, even within an hour, you could be near 60 miles away from Center City and still have some great income, great job opportunity. There is no shortage of jobs in the greater Philadelphia area. I'm not talking about in the city, but out of the city as well. We've got some of the biggest financial districts in the entire state right near our city. We've got a lot of affluent areas, and we've got a lot of businesses that find their home in Pennsylvania. All right, we got all the boring stuff out of the way. Let's talk about the fun. There are festivals, there are museums, there are parks, there is sledding, there's skiing, there's snowboarding. You want to go fishing, you want to drive on your boat, or is that what they say, drive? You want to power your boat and go on in a park, on a pond, in a lake. We got you covered. Suburbs, and even in the city as well. So travel here is very easy as well. It's super simple to get in and out of where you're going and to get to someplace fun. So what did I miss? Hit that comment button down below. What did I miss about Pennsylvania, Philadelphia suburbs? I'm Gregory Martire, your local real estate expert here in the greater Philadelphia area. We got you covered in and out of the city. We got you covered in New Jersey too. Hope you have a great day, everybody.